Sweet Caroline. Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is Unsolved Mysteries. Da-da-da-da-da-da. This is part 2 of the first 6 episodes that you saw. We talked about it, we reviewed it, we tweeted about it, we followed up nonstop. The first 6 episodes of Unsolved Mysteries were amazeballs in the Banzinis.
Perfect.
They were so good, man, because every single episode had something, and I mentioned this in the first time. What's fun about Unsolved Mysteries coming back is that with technology, with the internet, with all that shit, it gives people something like, there's a lot more of a chance that these things could get solved. And they had like a Reddit group going, and Unsolved Mysteries was dropping new facts to the Reddit group. One thing I have to say is disappointing about this new season is I was really hoping that we were going to get some updates. We did not. We did not get any updates on the first 6 episodes, but maybe that's still to come. I don't know, Jim. I don't know.
Michael Myers still has a micro penis.
He does.
It's an unsolved mystery, but not really. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. It was a great season. I guess you call it season 2.
Yeah, just call it season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
Easy.
I'm gonna call it. It's all of them are good. Every single one of them are good. Some are better than others. But it's got a little thing. It's got something for everybody in there. They've got some espionage, fucking unsolved mystery shit. They've got some stuff from the White House unsolved mystery stuff, and I'm not talking about Donald Trump's hairpiece. And they've got like some. They've got some ghost shit. And by the way, that ghost episode was damn well done, and it's sad too. It's not just like one of those things. It's like booger monsters around the corner. It's actually a really sad, well done. It's subtitled, but they do a really good job explaining and showcasing what happened, with the tsunami and things like that in Japan, which is it's
unexpected because it's actually the one ghost episode they had, which is one thing that the first season, I know it's not the season, but that's what we're calling it, was missing, was they had an alien episode, but they didn't have a ghost episode. Mm-hmm. There is a ghost episode as promised in this, but it's more, to me, it's more of a natural disaster episode than it is a ghost episode.
Yep.
Because the whole idea is, and we'll be very vague about it, not to give any spoilers, this comes out, I believe, on the 19th. Mm-hmm. is when you guys will be able to watch it. But they talk about the tsunami that happened after the earthquake in Japan, and I think it was 2011, I believe it was. And they show so much footage of the tsunami hitting Japan from so many different angles. And like that shit's like the black water's flowing, and then there's like fires inside of it and shit like that. It is scary as fuck, man. Like it's scary on not only a ghost level, because the whole idea is when there's this mass casualty of people, and they talk to people who've lost family members. One guy who lost like both of his daughters and his wife. That shit was heartbreaking as hell.
And not to mention, and his story about specifically how he finds one of his daughters is fucking crazy and scary. And then there's also some really interesting stuff in there about the taxi cab drivers, about how they may have been picking up ghosts the entire time, and there's records to prove that they at least picked up somebody, because the tally or whatever was always running, the taxi tally.
And what's
that's not really, it's not called the taxi tally. It's like, hey, look at the taxi tally, asshole. I don't know what the name of it.
What's the position of the guy they talked to? Is it a monk?
No, he's a reverend.
But it said Cafe de Monk. He had like a cafe.
Well, he was
a
monk, but he's a reverend.
Right, but he has the thing on and all that stuff like that, and he talked basically doing almost exorcisms, basically. I mean, for layman's terms, of what he was doing when he's talking to people and what they're dealing with, but with these ghosts that their lives were lost during the tsunami are coming to him. And it's not, like you said, not only is it sad as hell and it's touching, but it's also got a lot of natural disaster stuff in there. That may have been the best episode. My personal favorite episode deals with a guy that worked for the Bush administration. It's the first episode episode. It's a high-class guy.
He got lost in the bush.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that. 1984.
Do not come after me, NSA. I know karate.
I know Taekwondo.
I know it.
But that episode is actually really sad.
Really good.
They find a guy he's very high prominence, and his story's crazy because when they start to try to figure out how he died or what happened to him, they actually have footage of him going through these parking garages, and he's limping. It's like the Bourne Identity at some points, man. Like he seems like he's running from something. You see him put on a hoodie and like hide, and like it's really, really fascinating. There was a couple episodes that I thought were a little bit lackluster this time around. There's one about missing kids it's heartbreaking because it's missing kids, but it was all right. It's kind of basic though.
Yeah, like we're not trying to diminish it, but you see that shit almost all the time. I mean, but some of these stuff like these super duper mysteries are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. And my favorite episode was the one, and Mike didn't like it as much, but I fucking thought it was cool, was the one with the espionage. Like the lady, this lady checked into a hotel without a name, ID, or anything, and they let her into this 5-star hotel, and then she winds up fucking dead. And then they do the, why and all this stuff. Listen, this fucking felt like something out of John Wick. Like it was pure James Bondish, like espionage, like super secret agent stuff, and I'm like, God damn, that's real. Like I thought John Wick was Keanu Reeves, but this is real. I know that I know that there's like the CIA and like that shit's real, but to actually see it though,
yeah.
And I think that's what happened, but I don't know. But Jesus Christ, dude, there's the cool thing about watching these episodes is there's so many different like stories that you can talk about with your friends and stuff, like what's the theories and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's really good for these people that produce this show, because it gets the word out there. Like these mysteries that have been unsolved, for 30, 40, 20 years or whatever, can finally maybe get out there and people get the word out.
Yeah. Now with this one, there's possibly some answers that come out of the guy we talked about, the prominent guy, the espionage thing, maybe possibly some. And again,
I don't know about that
this
one.
and what my favorite part about that person, because basically they go, the security knocks on the door, they haven't heard from him in 3 days, they hear a gunshot, and then they find a woman in the bed.
I like how the guy though in that one episode was like, he waited outside for 15 minutes and he's like, I'm gonna go get somebody.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, just stay there, bitch.
Sketchy.
Use
right
your
there.
cell phone.
The most fascinating part about that to me, all of her clothes that she brought with her had no tags on them. All of her tags were ripped off of her clothes, and she didn't bring any fucking bottoms, dude. Her entire wardrobe was all tops. Like, who fucking stole her pants? It was like a panty sniffer that did this shit?
She was like trying to show off them legs. But no, I think,
to be fair, I only have like 2 pairs of pants, but I have like 1,000 shirts.
Yeah, I mean, at least you wear some undies or some pantaloons.
That's true.
But the other thing, the one guy they talked to in Norway about the intelligence operative was like, that was very standard. If you were killed or murdered by an intelligence agency, they would remove the tags from your clothes because that way they don't want anybody tracking you or tracing you everywhere. I was like, God damn, that's fucking crazy. But it's so, you know what? It's sad, and yes, these are sad cases for sure. We're not trying to make light of any of this stuff because some of these people are missing and they have family out there. But it's just so interesting to me, and it's so wild and crazy kids because it's like, this is like real. Like, it's not like made up stories in the Hardy Boys or something, or a James Bond movie, or like a mystery thriller or something where it's fake. This is real shit, and you're like, good God, this is actually happening, and it's happened.
And the production value is just as good as it was in season 1.
Was that always in the very beginning when they show Robert Stack's face?
Yeah, that was there.
Okay, that's a bad. I love that.
Like zooms in. Yeah, but and they don't go crazy with the recreations or whatever. Like there's one scene where they're showing the crime scene photos and the guy goes missing, right? And there's a fucking sword like covered in comet, like where there was like the West Point. Like, there's a sword and a shield. Like it's crazy. The shit they shows is crazy. I got
kind of fucked up a little bit because I had nightmares because that espionage one kind of scared me because they showed the crime scene photos. They showed her dead face, and they were like,
showed a lot, dude.
I was like, and the camera was kind of zooming up. I was like, if she opens her eyes, I'm never sleeping again. I promise you. Coffee, make friends with it.
And then there's one episode, they gotta have the Quinto Ocho episode that actually pisses you off and has you yelling at the screen. Last time it was that crazy woman from the middle of
the one that
nowhere.
Totally did it. Yeah.
That Carol goddamn Baskins. This time there's one where this guy kills this little girl and he goes to death row, and then they fucking let him out to let him go Christmas shopping in the mall with no cops with him, and of course he fucking escaped.
Dude, they let this dude walk around in civilian clothes. He looking fresh too, I'm sure. He looked like Saturday Night Fever because it was in the 70s. And he fucking walked around, and then he didn't need a guard around him, and he walked out and he was like, you know what, fuck it.
As you would.
Like,
Who wouldn't fucking walk out?
I mean, totally. I mean, that's like
Oh, this guy's on death row. He's not going to leave the mall.
that's like when you turn 18 in high school. It's like, I don't need to check out.
Jesus
I can just
Christ.
fucking leave the high school
He's
anytime
like,
I want.
no, the smell of the popcorn will keep him here. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
Wow.
It's probably those goddamn liberals. that program. But no, yeah, it was fucking crazy, and it was really...
It's a joke, by the way.
No, yeah, we don't care. But production value is off the charts. It is all put together really well. Like, as you'd expect, the first season, which was put together really well, they did really good homage to the original Unsolved Mysteries. They continue that legacy in this season. And, man, I really hope that you guys check it out, because I want a season, or a real season 2, or I want, season 3 or whatever. I don't know how we're going to call this, but whatever. I want them to continue on this on Netflix, because it's perfect. And Netflix is a perfect vehicle for them to get it out there to as many people, because some people had said, well, why don't they just put it on a cable? But the thing about it is, more people are streaming nowadays than are watching TV.
That shit can catch viral real quick, and that's how they get some of these cases solved. So again, what I will say is I'm disappointed that the lack of updates. There have been updates in those cases, nothing substantial, but there has been tiny updates. It would have been cool to have like an update for this season. I was disappointed about that. I like the first part a little bit better, but the second season still has almost all the same things. It's still just as enjoyable. Definitely, we both recommend watching it. So for sure, check that shit out when it comes out. And until next time, we love your fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham opinion. I'll be right back.
You know, it won't be back now. It'll be an unsolved mystery.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da.